Good morning. Yes, sir.
Just a second. All right, so we start. So today is Wednesday, the 23rd of July, 2025, and we're having our morning analysis. Now, today, market may be a bit on the slow side today because the first fundamental event that could be tradable will come up by 3 p.m. So between now and 3 p.m., well, some instruments may just proceed in their, normal technical direction, but may not really be assured of much volatility. And even the tradable fundamental event that will come up later today is existing home sales coming up from the United States by 3 p.m. It's also a medium impact event. So I will advise we trade with a lot of caution, except for those who are doing swing trading. Swing, it's long, is a bit medium term. So even if there's no sufficient volatility, anytime volatility comes to the market, it will surely push your trade. But for day traders, I will advise you trade with a lot of caution today. And with that, I switch over to my chart. We don't really have much set up in the market today. Just, like I said, from the angle of the fundamentals, the technicals are also reacting. We don't have much setup. But then there are some setup I gave earlier in the week that has worked according to the analysis. I remember telling us on Monday that I had a bearish outlook on the dollar, and as such, I expected the dollar index to crash this week, and that has happened so far. We've seen, some very appreciable bearish movement on the dollar index, and that has impacted upon USDCHF that has seen some bearish movement. Now, so far, USDCHF has dropped to the tune of about 60 pips. It's currently retracing. All things, you know, working in line with that. If possibly the news later today afternoon comes out bad for the dollar, we may see some further bearish movement. But at least so far so good. It's gone in line with the analysis that we gave earlier. And conversely, that also leads us to GBP USD that I said will be bullish. We've seen the breakout, and we've seen some slight movement also, about 57 pips, currently retracing also. Same thing, Euro USD. Euro USD too has, gone bullish. I remember we had a trend line somewhere around here with a previous support level, and so far it has gone up by about 93 pips. I think New Zealand USD likewise, and this one has gone up also far. This one, I think I mentioned this one, I think yesterday during the afternoon analysis session, that if we could break out above that resistance zone here, we will see some bullish movement, and that has happened exactly, as analyzed. And so far, it's still evolving. It's done some 14 pips. It may go higher also, depending on the market condition. All right, so we've seen things go in line with our weekly market. We've seen the market rather. Price has gone in line with our weekly analysis. Now, for today, like I said, we really don't have much. I have just two instruments to show us, and that is gold and Euro GBP. Those are just the two instruments I have evolving setup, which will trigger in the course of today. Now, I remember telling us a couple of days back that gold would surge higher, and it did. I think that was yesterday. I told us yesterday, and I posted the updates in the WhatsApp group. I believe some of us must have seen it. But then currently, gold is trading now around the resistance level on the daily time frame. This is gold. It's trading around the resistance level on the daily time frame. All right, you can see the resistance level. So today's daily candle is within that resistance zone, is within it. So you can see this is today's daily candle, is within that zone. So technically, we'll be looking for a downward movement in gold today. Except if price goes to break this level, but then I think I'll hold more on the bearish side because price is already within that resistance zone. So with that, I'll flip down to 1 hour time frame. And on my 1 hour time frame, I can clearly draw a rising wedge pattern. So we're anticipating a breakout of price downwards. But then price may not just drop downwards like that. It may move within this zone again, possibly form a double top then drop. Or if volatility enters gold for maybe geopolitical reasons, it may drop straight. But ultimately, what we're expecting is a breakout of price on gold in the course of today. So we're bearish on gold for today. And also, like I said, the Euro GBP is the next one I'm looking at. All right, so this Euro GBP, I've been expecting this bearish breakout right from Monday. Maybe we may see it today. Let's go to the daily and possibly the weekly. All right. All right, so you can see on the weekly time frame, price is actually trading around the resistance zone on the weekly time frame. The candle that closed last week closed as a rejection candle here. So technically, we've been anticipating the reversal on the Euro GBP. So if we take it down to the 4 hour time frame, this is where we are. And we're seeing a pattern forming here that looks a lot like a double top pattern. And as such, we're expecting a breakout in the bearish direction. So possibly in the course of today. Now, this is a swing setup, so it will take some time. But then if it breaks out below this trend line today, then we'll see some movement downwards. So if you're there, you want to trade this on as a day trader, yes, it's possible. And how will you do that is what I'm about to show you. This is the neckline of the double top. So if you're a day trader and a new candle breaks out, below the trend line here, you can ride the trend down to the neckline as a day trader. That will give you some decent number of pips. On the average, that can give you close to some 20 pips, which is not bad for day trading, at least on the average. Some 15 to 20 pips can be caught, price, and it can be beyond that, it can be up to 25 pips. Let's say 15 to 25 pips can be caught in this initial downward movement. But if you're there, you're a swing trader, your best bet is actually to wait for the break of the neckline to ride the trend downwards. All right. So either as a day trader or a swing trader, there's a setup for everyone on this particular one. So I'm bearish on gold, I'm bearish on Euro GBP. Those are the two probability setups that I'm seeing for this morning. And that'll be all from my end. If you have anyone to check, you can drop it. Though, like I said, volatility is very low, but I'll try my best to still guide as many as will, make a request. All right. So Mukta Garba is asking me to check Euro JPY. All right, this is Euro JPY. Yes, I remember telling us about this instrument yesterday that I saw a head and shoulder and price. I think I said if price breaks below the neckline, enter a sell, yes. But then there was a retracement overnight. Now you can see, let me zoom it out bigger. Yeah, you can see this massive bearish candle broke the neckline. Then suddenly there was a retracement and it's trying to come down. I still believe it's going to still come down again. Sometimes fundamentals can make prices to fluctuate. So there's sufficient, and JPY pairs actually can be volatile. They really can be volatile. So let's just see what happens in the course of today. You can see it's already coming down again. Just as we are speaking, it's dropping downwards. So let's still be hopeful that it will continue in that bearish direction. So I'm still bearish on the Euro JPY. GBP USD and USD JPY. Okay. Like I said, we're bullish on the USD JPY because we have a bearish outlook on the dollar for the week. But then GBP is currently trading around the Fibonacci level, which is acting as a resistance. That's Fibonacci 38.2. And it has been ranging around this. This is a 4-hour time frame. You can see we've had multiple 4-hour candles ranging. Now, anytime you see price range around a particular level, it's because price does not have sufficient volatility to break that level. And except in rare occasions, maybe if there's a news, it may drive it upwards. Otherwise, in this case, we may see some downward movement if we don't have sufficient volatility to drive price upwards. So I will suggest this for GBP USD. This area now is a range zone. So we can take it down to 15 minutes time frame. All right. So if price breaks out above it, you can buy. And if it breaks out below this zone, you can sell. But then trade with a lot of caution. If you're selling, either buying or selling, I would say just do some little scalp, like 10, 20 pips each, depending on the direction the market, takes you. So we're at a critical point on GBP USD where price could break out into either direction. Then USD JPY. Yeah, we really don't have any serious clarity on the USD JPY at the moment. I'm not seeing any clear-cut setup on the USD JPY. I'm checking multiple time frames, but then there's still nothing to talk about it. So I just want to be quiet on USD JPY. No setup on USD JPY for now.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're
God
welcome.
bless you.
Amen. All right. I think that's all. I've attended to the request I have here. Just watch out in your WhatsApp group. If you are part of the 5X group, watch out for signals in the course of the day. Make sure you constantly check that group and also be prompt at picking the signals. So that means you have to be very alert once you see a signal. Not that they've dropped a signal and maybe it has triggered and you're entering after like 2 hours. That you may just be too late. Be prompt at picking the signals on the 5X group. All right, we'll end here. You're welcome, Mr. Mukhtar Garba. Take care and enjoy the day. Bye bye.